Trea Turner. Now, my gut grade for Trea Turner before I dove into everything, when I'm just like mentally accessing the year in my head,
Okay.
I said C+. That was like the grade I wrote down in the beginning. Now, I was shocked to find increases in batting average, OBP, OPS, OPS plus. His K rate went down. The stolen base bet he made with Bryson Stott prior to the year actually tanked. It was cut in half. I need to see more stolen bases from Trea. I was surprised his numbers did go up compared to the previous year here in Philadelphia. Fascinating grades. I'm really curious what you two are going to give him. I'm going to give him a B, and I acknowledge that feels high, but it's hard for me to like roast him too hard. There was 2 months in this season where, he was winning NL Players of the Week, and for the month of like April and May, you might have said he was one of the best players in the league and looked like the $300 million man, much like other players on this team came out of a bad slump after London. At times would give you flashes of that, 2-month run he had. But overall, I feel like there was enough good in the beginning of the year to kind of carry him to a B. I'm surprised I left the C+ grade, but that's what I have for Trea Turner. Need more. You're a $300 million man. You should be getting minimum A minuses. We need an A or an A+ out of you for the Phillies to win a title. It's plain and simple. A B is not letting him off the hook, I don't think. I think it's just, it was fine. It was okay. Defensively, he's a butcher. That's not going to get any better. Yeah. B-, I think maybe I'll settle into, down from a B. So final grade, final answer as I talk it out, B-.
Okay.
And I know that's going to be probably on the high end. Maybe Tyler might be similar, but I think Tyler's going to be in the C range. What's Professor Ice Queen? And wait, what did he say? But Jamie, what strain of reefers you smoking? Depends what time of the day that is, my friend. I mean, look, he improved a lot of offensive categories from the year prior, which is what I was grading him on. B-. It's not good. I mean, when you're paying a guy $300 million and he's giving you a B- output, that's not good.
No.
It's just not, it's not a C-. So what do you got?
Okay. So,
give him an F. Say it with your chest.
I'm definitely not great. I'm not in the same area of you in terms of grades.
By
no surprise. There's a big surprise for you guys. When you look at the 2 seasons for Trea Turner, you look at last year, I know we talked about the turnaround and the standing ovation on our show yesterday. Trea Turner obviously was bad until August, until the standing ovation of last year. Then you come into this year expecting we're going to get a full season of Trea Turner post-ovation. We're going to get that Trea. We're going to get Trea that's going to be consistent. He started off strong, and we talked about at the beginning of the year. He was a guy that him and Bryce were off this MVP start to their season. And then he began, the injury happened, the hamstring happened. And I, again, understand, like we mentioned, no one's the same after an injury. But for Trea Turner to have so much of a fall, his 2 best parts of the season were the start of the season and when he came back from his hamstring. He was phenomenal in those initial games of July, coming back off his hamstring. He had 10 home runs. He was great. And then he turned back into a pumpkin. Mm-hmm. And I think, much like Alec Boehm, the reason I grade Trea Turner much more harshly is because of that contract. Is because of, 9 years left? 20 years left?
Yeah, I believe it's 9.
30 years left? It's a lot of years left on this deal.
Lifetime contract.
It's basically a lifetime contract. And to see how much he struggled in his at-bats. Fastballs were an issue for him. His outs above average, his play at shortstop, his errors that he had. Again, 23 errors last year, 17 errors this season in 35 less games. And in both seasons was one of the worst shortstops statistically in terms of errors across Major League Baseball. And not to mention what you expect of him as your number 2 hitter is to be the guy that you want to talk big 3. It's like him, Bryce, and Kyle are your expectations to be leading this team. And to have that 11-year deal and be a guy that now we're talking about, should we move him to outfield? Can he help us at shortstop? He left us with way more questions than answers this season. And in the postseason, actually was weirdly one of the better guys. And by better, because people like JT were 0 for 11. Trea Turner in the postseason did have 3 hits, which should not be a great thing. That's a great stat. That's sad. That's one of the better.
Tommy Edman was a trade deadline piece, and he's an NLCS MVP.
And
we need
had
more.
like 3 hits in one game. He had a 3-run home run. So 3 hits, 2 runs in his 15 at-bats in the 4 games played. But to me, the issue is the in-season drop-off. And obviously, I would like more from him in the playoffs as well. But as mentioned, the ups and downs of Trea Turner this season, when you have a month like May, where he was injured, so we didn't expect anything from him, comes back in July, had those 10 home runs in July, and then in the entire month of August had 2 home runs. He had 14 runs total, 28 hits in the month of August, and was batting at 250, 280, 357 split with a 637 OPS. Beyond the numbers, it was a very rocky season for Trea. I considered a D+. I truly did, because you just have more expectation from him. And this is 2 years in a row now that he hasn't even give us 2 consecutive months of strong Trea Turner. Give us something. But I gave him a C- because, as you mentioned, he was 9th across the ML, like Major League Baseball, in terms of RBIs. He did have some, especially as I mentioned, the beginning of the season and coming out of the hamstring, showed some life, showed some promise, but it's not enough. It's very concerning for Trea Turner. I think he seems like a great guy, but I also wonder if he's the guy that's not bought in. And now I'm wondering if his demeanor and everything. I
think they want him to become a more doubles hitter.
And I think that's the issue to me. Like, he's someone that's with 25 doubles this season, 21 home runs, 62 RBIs, 27 walks. You just need more from. These aren't good numbers. And it's not good.